We grow by acquisition. We've been the largest in the nation, and the company is 40 years old now.
And most want to replace the entire roof for $95,000, my last quote.
My neighbor that paid $25K for a new roof and to fix a small leak in the garage section.
Fuck no, way overpriced, 22.
All new construction pricing set to expire December 31st, 23 will be increased between 5 to 7% effective January 1st, 2024.
And then Tuesday, their competitors all go up 5%. Why would they not go up 5%? Because they're still competitive.
You don't need to go to one of these big guys and give them money so they could go buy another Lamborghini or whatever they're doing with their money. Buy direct.
I am shocked that a one-story, 1,200 square feet, a 312-pitch roof, no rakes, replacement for asphalt shingles quotes $10,000 to $12,000. I looked up on how much a bundle costs as distributor warehouse, underlayment, drip edge boots, and trash bin 2 days rental came out under $3,500 if I do it myself, Arizona. I'm not a roofer, I'm just a consumer. However, the roofing industry better get a big reality check. Roofing is not a rocket science. The materials and tools are straightforward and only require basic education. I'm not going to pay $15,000 to $20,000 for a single roof that cost $3,000 10 years ago, no matter how much mumbo jumbo the roofing industry feeds us. Most people can do their own roofs, get their own permits and approval, and the best of all, they will do a much better job than average roofer. I don't agree with the last statement, but I do agree that the roofing industry needs big reality check. These are some very common comments from Roofing Insights YouTube channel. We've been monitoring them for years, and it's very common for people to complain about pricing for the last couple years. In this video, I'm gonna reply and read more comments from consumers who watch Roofing Insights, and I'm gonna present to you 2023 roofing industry report, where it's heading, how roofers' behavior, buying behavior is changing. We have 80,000 roofing contractors in the country, and we have a couple players they do business with, but it's changing rapidly in 2023. I'm gonna give you options for roofers to buy materials, for homeowners to hire roofers, and what are the two common ways to do business in 2023. Let's go. So let me introduce you the main players in the roofing industry. All the way at the bottom, we have 80,000 roofing contractors. In my opinion, those roofing contractors are at the top of the roofing industry, but you will see in a second why I put them in the bottom here. So we have 80,000 roofing contractors, registered business owners, smaller LLC who buys materials, who provide services. By the way, guys, if you like this type of videos, give it a like. If this video will get 1,000 likes, I will do the same version, but for different industry, for siding and gutters after this. So your feedback, highly appreciated. Give it a like, and I'll be producing more of content just like this one. So we have 80,000 roofing contractors. Then we have 8 major manufacturers, asphalt shingle manufacturers. These manufacturers represent about 80% of the roofs in the United States. 80% of the roofs that you see are asphalt shingles products. The rest 20 are split between metal, tile, concrete, and the rest, rubbers, newer products, plastics, whole bunch of them. But 80%, majority of the market, is split and produced between top 8 brands. It's your GF, Owens Corning, Pepco, CertainTeed, ICO, Malarkey, Atlas. And then we have 3 major suppliers who do business with 8 manufacturers. It's ABC Supply, it's Beacon, it's SRS. The roofing industry is estimated to be about $50–60 billion industry, bigger than some smaller countries' GDP. And they control about half of that industry. So if we have $50 billion industry, $60 billion industry, ABC Supply alone, market leader, is $12 billion company. SRS, one of the fastest growing, is 8.6. It's privately owned company, so numbers might be a little bit off depending on some research, but roughly it's about $9 billion. And then Beacon, Another giant is $8.4 billion company. They're a publicly traded company. Just to give you a little perspective, Diane Hendricks is the richest self-made billionaire woman in the United States. She is co-founder of ABC Supply. That's how big these companies are. According to Forbes, Diane Hendricks worth $17.8 billion. Congrats, Diane, you made it. Good job at ABC Supply. We are not hating on ABC Supply. We're not hating on any of these players, but we're simply capturing the moment and giving you a report where are we all heading and what's happening in the industry. It's funny to me how many sales reps who work for ABC Supply, for Beacon, for SRS are getting pissed just because roofers are asking common sense questions. Last week, I made a post asking roofers to share their pricings with me. I asked, hey guys, can you share how much are you paying at ABC, at Beacon, at SRS in your market? And I had ABC sales reps attacking me, attacking my character just for asking a question. So guys, there's no hate here. If you have good product, if you have good service, if you can justify your prices, you have nothing to worry about it. And as we speak, we have huge inflation in the nation on most products, but nothing compared to what we have been seeing in the roofing industry. For example, if you compare it to food industry, grocery stores, in 2019, the price increases on the groceries were less than 1%, 0.9, I believe. This year, it's about 5%, but nothing in comparison to roofing industry. We have seen 5 to 10 price increases per year, and each one of those price increases usually starts at 5%, 5, 6, 7, 8% at a time. So as a result, within the last 5 years, we have seen prices are almost doubled on roofing materials and accessories. That's why all the comments on social media and from consumer when they're receiving quotes from roofers are coming out. People are pissed how much it costs to replace the roof. If you're the homeowner and you need your roof done, do not procrastinate. It's not going to get cheaper. It's only going to get more expensive because these manufacturers are challenged by many manufacturers. Producing asphalt shingles, it's a hard business. You have a lot of raw materials. You have a big recycling problem. We have been covering that story on this channel as well, how majority of the shingles are ended up on landfills. So it's not easy business, but we only have 8 players. And here's the bigger problem. These 8 players are very good friends. They are good friends with each other. A lot of them are buying accessories from each other. For example, Owens Corning producing their mat, their fiberglass mat to others, and other manufacturers producing accessories and shingles for their own brand, but also some accessories for other brands. So this is one big friendship. And on top of that, they mainly sell to these 3 suppliers. Not that we don't have other options, and this is the snapshot of the industry. So you have 80%, this is rough number, this is my observation. I might not be accurate with it, but this is how it feels, and I've looked at a lot of financial data. Feels like majority of the business, let's say 80%, comes this way. So you have 80,000 roofers, and 80% of them, 80% of the money comes through this bottleneck. So you have roughly 8 asphalt shingles manufacturers, top 3 suppliers. We will call it like Dan Tinker called it in our interview, oligopoly. How can you explain that 5 manufacturers within 48 hours make a 7 to 10% price increase?
Yeah, I think you have to understand that in any industry that has whatever you want to call it, an oligopoly or a consolidated industry where you have less than a dozen participants, which certainly we do in the asphalt shingle world and the commercial roofing world, that there's a market leader and there's people that decide when they need to go up for whatever reasons, whether the asphalt costs are rising, freight costs, people costs, whatever it is, they have to pass those on.
It's the wide way. It's a American capitalist way. It's go big or go home. It's inviting venture capitalist money. It's going public just like Beacon and ABC. It's going big and growing big and focusing on that fast, rapid growth, making sure that you always grow and that next quarter is always bigger than last quarter. It's kind of the drive, sales fix everything drive. We've seen it in other industries as well, but it's very, very obvious here. Now, there is also another way, and I want to address it. I called it common sense way. Many contractors are doing it, but many companies are also kind of think that, hey, if everyone is going here, this is the way, this is the standard. Well, there's no such a thing as a standard. You're an entrepreneur, you have to do what's good for your business. And I'm here only to show you the way. So here's the biggest trend. This year, like never before, I see change in behavior among roofers. And I'll explain why step by step. Why roofers are start doing something else. When you have so many price increases in 1 year, it's very hard to adapt. Roofers are splitting on it. Bigger companies usually will side with the big companies, but also will start making moves. And I see more companies than ever buying containers direct from overseas. They order underlayments, they order nails, they order flat roofing materials direct from manufacturers, because guess what? If you're around $40, $50, $60 million company, you can place that order. So both big and small companies are doing stuff what I call common sense. I've been in the roofing industry for 10 years. I started in 2013. I sold my company in 2020, and we've been doing business this way as well. So Home Depot, Lowe's, Menards, your big box stores will also carry shingles, and a lot of materials in these big box stores will be cheaper than here. How much cheaper, you ask? On average, a roofer can save about 5-7% per job switching to common sense way from oligopoly way. You can choose who to support. Do you want to make manufacturers and suppliers rich, or do you want to keep more in your pocket? Now, the whole industry, the roofing industry, is actually split. We have this big debate in the industry, what's the right way to grow? We have companies who only focus on gross sales. We have a couple gurus and fake gurus who is preaching that way, that sales fix everything.
And I will tell you that sales cures all woes.
If you're focusing on price for underlayment or price of nails, your price is too cheap, and you have to think bigger, and you have to offer financing and hire more sales reps and just be more aggressive in sales. That's one way of thinking. But we also have another guy, and usually first one is more on the storm chasing and insurance restoration game, but then we have a lot of retailers, companies who specialize in residential retail work, where insurance money is not involved. They have to provide competitive bid and win the job that way. Those companies oftentimes I see do buy from Home Depot and Lowe's. Now, the problem with the Home Depot and Lowe's is usually delivery. See, these big corporations have invested in the boom trucks that became very popular in many markets, and Home Depot and Lowe's simply cannot compete with the roof drops deliveries, or they have to charge premium for that. So where ABC, Beacon, and SRS oftentimes will include it, they will not charge for delivery. Those guys cannot do it. And the argument is that roofer gets a better service if he gets his materials from ABC, Beacon, and SRS, even though it's the same product. GF and Owens Corning, top two most popular brands in the United States, do sell directly to Home Depot and Lowe's, actually Menards as well. I used to buy products from Menards, and fun fact about Menards, all my northern guys will know this, they have 11% sale, like 20-30 times a year. It feels like it's going all the time. Well, I remember we used to buy materials at Menards during that week of 11%, and no one could touch it. I used to buy from ABC, but if Menards was running 11% sale, we will just place 15-20 jobs that week, And guys, I was saving 20, 30 grand of pure cash. And these guys would look at it as like, I can't compete with that. There's absolutely no way I can match that price. So for those of you who is asking, how can I buy direct? This is the way. You still today can go to Home Depot, can go to Lowe's, can go to Menards, and probably a few other stores, and you can order direct shingles from your manufacturer. Well, I hope that you sell those brands, but you can probably do the deal. Now, on top of that, we have a smaller suppliers in many, many markets who are not sold out yet to bigger companies. Now, these big companies, they're buying a lot, and this oligopoly is a big business. Reach is getting richer in the roofing industry. Everybody's buying everyone. I believe last year we have about 500 acquisitions in supply industry. I mean, think about it. 500 smaller mom and pop shops have been purchased by bigger players. So a couple of years ago, SRS was a $5 billion company. Today, they're a $9 billion company. So they're on a mission to acquire a lot of smaller guys. But smaller guys are still there. Unfortunately, it's very, very hard for the small guy to even do business with some of the manufacturers. Again, we do have very close to monopoly players. They do what's good for them. They produce as much products as they need to produce to keep the price high. I mean, they play the game. But guess what? When I look here, we have 80,000 roofers. And here's one common theme that I see that no one can ignore. I feel like 2023 is the breaking year for the roofers. I've seen more roofers than ever say this word, enough. Enough with the price increases. I see more roofers than ever buying from roof store, preferred supply, like online store. I mean, think about what's happening. Roofers are going, saving money, and buying containers of underlayments. I've traveled to over 100 companies, and many of them have a stock of accessory in their warehouses now. Something that I did not see 5 years ago when I still was in business. This is a newer thing because if you're smart, I mean, I want you to think about some numbers. If you do one roof a day and your average ticket is about $10,000 and you can save 5% on accessories, nails, ice and water barrier, starters, like stuff that you can buy in pallets. You can definitely do synthetic felt paper and a few other accessories. You save 5% per job. You know how much money you're gonna save per year if you do one roof a day? 250 working days, you pretty much have $2.5 million business. You will save $125,000. That's a good salary for the business owner or for general manager of that business. I don't understand the sales pitch and never understood the sales pitch of one of these players. I remember Norandix was one of them. Norandix was pitching me to switch to them. At that time, I believe I was buying either from Beacon or ABC Supply. They walked in with a pitch book and they're like, Dmitry, here's the prices. If you do this, we will send you to like a trip somewhere in Mexico or Caribbean or whatever. And I look at the pricing, and we were already a $3-4 million company. And I said, guys, if I do this, if I don't switch, I can send myself at the end of the year to Caribbeans and any other exotic country that I want to go. Because your pricing makes no sense. And that's what a lot of roofers don't understand. It's not about the trip. It's not about the relationship that you get, that you say you get. Oftentimes, you can get the same relationship doing the business the common sense. It's about other things. It's about the money that you keep. Someone recently has been calling me out saying, well, Dmitry doesn't want to grow his business. I'm like, all right. He wants to stay small. And the person actually was Lee Haight.
Dmitry, tell me why you think $5 million companies are the right size companies.
Someone like Lee Haight does $40 million between 7 locations. And we see a lot of storm restorations contractors doing that. So you push that number. You're trying to impress people with how much you sell, but you never ever talk about your net profit. If you're doing this way business, it's costing you about 5%. you're overpaying on accessories, you're overpaying on nails. Like even if you're getting better pricing on asphalt shingles, they still gonna charge premium on accessories. Now, one of the ways they're doing it, and it's a gimmicky way, and it's a brilliant strategy, good for them, but I don't agree with it, and let me explain. So this is the game that manufacturers playing for roofers to keep buying from their suppliers. So let's talk about warranties. One of the main reasons roofers doing the business this way is because they have to buy accessories for their asphalt shingles from the same manufacturers. Well, for me, that argument just doesn't stand the ground. Warranty is something that you don't have to buy as a consumer, especially if it's costing you 5-7%. It's one expensive warranty. Now, I'm not against warranties. Warranties are great, but you make a decision what warranty do you get and what warranty do you trust. Let me explain. If you buy Toyota truck or Toyota minivan, and let's say Toyota tell you, you get warranty on our car only if you buy our tires. And by the way, our tires are double the cost of what you can buy yourself. So let's say you want a Michelin tires because they're cheaper, they're better tires. Toyota is in no business of doing the tires. They're in business of doing, beautiful vehicles and reliable vehicles, but can they really force it? So we're actually challenging them now. And we, as a company, I'm consulting with lawyers. Can manufacturers do what they have been doing for years? Can they demand legally for roofers to buy their accessories to warranty their shingles? Because their main product is asphalt shingles. I would argue that you can buy different underlayment as long as it has the same standard, the same code requirements, the same quality. The roofer should make a decision what underlayment to use. Some ice and water barriers are much better from different manufacturers, and manufacturers know that. So that's why some of them say, well, use 3 accessories, use 2. Some of them want you to use all their accessories. And funny enough, those manufacturers who don't produce those accessories don't require you to use accessories. But if they produce them, they want you to use them because it's more profit margin for them. So that's what's been happening. So as a result, roofers are forced to buy that product, that accessory from that supplier. It's very hard for them to buy shingles here and buy accessories elsewhere. Now, in my business, I have been doing it for years. I would buy a couple pallets of starter shingle, saving, $10 per bundle. When you do big volume, you will save big. I mean, think about businesses like Papa John's. If they save 5-10 cents on cardboard, each pizza they sell millions per year. And roofers need to adopt that mentality. Guys, you have been robbed over the years. You have been played. And this is the time, this is the year where we all need to wake up. And the reason is very simple. Roofers make less money than they used to make. So the argument is this. Roofers often say, well, if supplier and manufacturer raise the price, then we're just going to raise the price. Well, look at all of these comments. You know how many homeowners would not hire a roofer because the price is too high? There is a point where enough is enough. There's a big difference between $10,000 roof and $30,000 roof. It's not like we have unlimited economies. I think it's 66% of Americans cannot write $1,000 check. People are going broke. So you have to think about the future. You have to think about your customers. You have to think about your profits, not someone else's profits. And you also have to realize that if we don't do something right now, if we don't push back right now, this will never end. They will never stop. Greed is a thing where no matter what you have, it's never enough. You can have $17 billion and keep pushing for more. Now, I'm not against it, but I am for fair competition. And I genuinely like competition, but I don't like gimmicks. And if I'm competing with someone, I'm gonna call out every gimmick that you have in the playbook, and we're gonna level the playing field. And this is what we're seeing right now. We see the rise of online stores. You can go check it out yourself. Highly recommend. Check out the roof store. You will save on nails. You will save on underlayments. We see the rise of smaller players in different markets. People like Preferred Roofing Supply. We visited them a couple months ago. Very popular shop in Atlanta. We just visited Van Buxell. Very fast-growing company. Actually, one of the players from here just made an offer, official offer to buy Van Buxell. He's not going to sell. And a lot of the smaller players, they are fighting the giant. It's David and Goliath fight. It's not always fair. It's not always pretty, but the industry is changing. Comment below what you think about this report. Comment below what you think about my opinion on things. It's totally fine if you disagree with me. I don't expect everybody to agree, but I do see trends, and I'm very sensitive to what's happening in the marketplace and what people say. We represent roofers and homeowners. That's what we do at directory.com. If you're the homeowner and you watch this video all the way to the end, you can go to directory.com and you can do fair price check and send us estimates from your roofers, and we will tell you who has good price, fair price, and who is overpriced. We're not promoting people to be the cheapest bidders in their markets. I want roofers to be profitable. But here's another thing that I see that I did not like over the years. I see big feast on this side. I see manufacturers, suppliers having very good life, being very rich, growing super fast.
The whole concept is really about everybody wants to commit to be competitive, right? So if they're competitive in pricing on today, on Monday, and then Tuesday their competitors all go up 5%, why would they not go up 5%? Because they're still competitive.
And I've seen the roofers struggling down there. This group say, we're here to help you, we're here to help you, we're here to serve you. And in reality, they're just taxing them more and more and more. And this year, like I've never before, I have seen thousands of comments from roofers saying enough.
Homeowners can't pay anymore. They simply can't afford it. Manufacturers have pushed roofers to their limits. Distribution has blamed manufacturers and increased prices as well. Both are making record profits, while roofer margins across the country have decreased.
So the question is, will they listen? Well, here's what you can do. If in the month of November, you will place few orders, not from your typical supply store, but if you go to common sense store, if you buy from big box store, from roof store, from online store, if you try to save, they will listen. For them, only money talks. Your opinion, my opinion, this YouTube video, your rant on Facebook, they don't care. These people, this group, this oligopoly group, they only see the numbers. And I say, we send them a message. If you guys go and switch for 1 month, for 30 days, and buy elsewhere to get their attention, when they see the drop, when they see that behavior of the roofer has changed, and they feel like competition is real, they will adopt. And who knows, maybe for the first time in history, we will see a shingle price drop. Because in my humble opinion, we are way overpaying for the quality that we are getting. I value your opinion. Comment below if you agree, what you think about this video. I read all of my comments and I'll reply to most of them. If you disagree, all I ask, be respectful. It takes a lot of time and energy to produce this type of content. We're not monetizing this type of videos, and we value feedback, and we want you to be part of the conversation. Comment below, like the video. I'll see you guys in the next one.